Alright, so in this video I'm going to get into talking about the engine and tearing it down, and it'll be a quick video because there's not too crazy talking about it, and then getting into tearing down the head somewhat. Other than that, I'm waiting on parts, and then I will be shipping the engine off to the machine shop. So let's get into tearing this all apart. Here it is, the 16 valve I'm gonna rebuild for the truck. I need to get into tearing the trans and the engine back apart, and then I'm going to get into tearing the block apart, and I'm gonna do that as best I can so that if anybody's watching this, they can do it themselves. My plan is to tear it down, label everything, lay everything out as needed, and then ship it off to the machine shop, see what they think, and then try to get help to reinstall everything once I get it back together. I'm not sure if the cylinder walls are good enough or if I'm going to have to bore them out slightly, but we will see. The cylinder walls don't look very bad, but I want them checked out, have the block checked out. Nothing too crazy, just going for a refresh. But if I have to buy new pistons, then so be it. One of them for sure I do need to buy a new piston for because it has a hole in it, but I'll get into that once I start tearing everything down and show you the damage. I have two heads here. One is that came off of the engine. That came off the engine when it dropped the lifter, and the other one I got as a replacement. On the head, basically what I'm doing is swapping the cams over to the new head that I got, and then I'm going to send it off and have it checked out. I'm going to install new heavy-duty springs, and then just have the block looked over, the head looked over, make sure it looks good, doesn't look out of whack, make sure everything seals good. Basically just have a machine shop do what they need to do without going overboard. I don't want to go too crazy building the engine, not just yet. Too crazy on the head. I just want to basically refresh, make sure it looks good, make sure there's nothing that's like needs to be fixed. If it does, I'll fix it now, but if it's just little stuff, I'm gonna do it, get it over with, and then put the engine back together so I can put it in the truck. So that's where I'm at. Alright, so this is the head that I took off the block. I kind of threw it in these bags just to keep it somewhat sealed. I already took the cams. These cams are what came out of the new block that I got. These are basically just stock 027 or KR cams. They're the ones that basically came out of this block that head that I got from. These I'm not using, so if anybody needs a set of KR cams, I have a set. And then I have a new chain, so I plan on using a new cam timing chain. So basically, this is the head, and try to zoom in and you can see the damage from where it dropped the lifter. So that's the damage on the head. Dropped the lifter, bent it pretty good, it's stuck in there. I thought about getting this head machined and fixed, but there's nothing really, like, it's not really port and polish, so I figured I might as well just, I'd just get a new head basically and just start with something that's fresh. Not really new, but new to me. New used head, I guess I could say. But yeah, that's what's up with this. Oh yeah, and once I took the cams out, I noticed that the key on the timing gear was sheared off. So I don't know if that happened when it dropped the lifter or not, but I have another one of these that came on this head, which I'm going to use, but yeah, this one's junk. Alright, so the new head here, not new to me, replacement head. Here's the valve cover that was in my Blue Bunny. I'll kind of show you a photo of that one. Separate the trans from the engine. So this currently has black, I think I pour 15'd it like engine enamel back in the day when I built the Blue Bunny. And I'm thinking of, right now it's just got tons of dust and it's dirty, and I'm thinking of like stripping it to look raw aluminum, but it has that pour 15 on it. I don't know exactly how hard it will be to strip this off, if at all. So I'm kind of up in the air whether I try to strip it or just leave it black, or it might be the last thing I do, because I don't want to get into like stripping it down and then not being able to get it all the way clear, and then or all the way back to aluminum, and then rushing to put it all back together. So I might do this last. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air what to do, because I might clean it up and then see how it looks. But I mean, the black looks okay. It's either that or maybe I try to paint on top of this like a sandblasted or raw aluminum look. But I was thinking black block this aluminum color, the head aluminum color, and then the valve cover, I'm up in the air on the color to do on that. Whether I go raw aluminum or leave it the white, I don't know. I gotta clean that up also and see how it looks. Alright, so it stopped recording. I was trying to loosen this up, but I can't do it. I think I need an impact, so I'm going to do that later. I took off the intermediate pulley. Now I'm going to pull this off. So, intermediate shaft. Pull the intermediate shaft out. The intermediate shaft has a lip. It looks like the lip is broke. Awesome. So I might need a new intermediate shaft. Can't take this off because I can't loosen this, so I'll have to do that later. So I'm gonna stop there until I get my impact to get the crank out. So that's where I'll stop. Alright, so where I left off. I did everything I could except for getting off the crank sprocket, so I needed to get the bolt off, but I needed my impact to do it, so I have that now. And as far as the number 2 damage, you can see it's broke on the edge right on the top of the piston. So I'll need to look inside the wall to see if it looks messed up from that, but for surely I need one new piston. I'll probably have the rod checked out, but for surely a new piston. And then I have all of them set up. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bearings are still in how I pulled them out. And now I can get to taking out the crank. So I'm gonna loosen the bolt to get the sprocket off, and then I'll lay everything out so that I can pull the crank out. That was easy. I didn't even have to wedge this in there. Alright, now that that's off, I can take these caps off the ends, and then I can pull out all the bolts. And these are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the numbers are on the exhaust side of the engine. Alright, that's that. Alright, so one facing the back, two, 4. So these have these side bearings on them. Looks like the grooves are faced out. Grooves face out. This is the middle one. And then this one's, these grooves are faced out also. Crank. It looks like the only one that looks kind of bad is that one. It's got a little score in the middle of it. I'm gonna pull the oil squirters out. Alright, so I have everything laid out with, I'm calling this one 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have it laid out the same way up on the table. So oil squirters 1, 2, 3, 4, then the crank, then all the bearings, the caps, and then the pistons and rods laying out. So now I'm gonna flip this over so I can look. I was trying to look in to make sure nothing looked funny inside, to see if there was anything like broken or smashed, or everything looks okay for the most part on the block. Because I wanted to check to make sure, because I didn't want to go too far if something was messed up. Even the bearings, the intermediate shaft bearings, don't look that bad, but I bought new ones to replace them, because I mean, while I got it tore apart, I might as well do it. So those will be replaced as well. And this is where I ended up. So the block's flipped over, sitting on the bottom side. Everything laid out on a table, how everything goes. I need to figure out what all I need to take to the machine shop. Probably the crank, to have them look at it, maybe polish where the bearing seats are. I don't know if I will I don't know if I'll send the rods to have them checked out or not, but for surely the block, to see if I need to bore that open, to see if I need to order pistons. If they don't, more than likely it'll probably get honed somewhat, so if it's not too much them to hone it and open it up, hopefully I won't have to order new pistons, but if so be it. I'll order a set of 4. Hopefully I'll use the stock rods and the crank still, just polish it up, and then new bottom end bearings, and then new bearings for the rods. And then as far as the head I just want cleaned up, replace the heavy duty springs, which I'm waiting on, and then replace the hydraulic cam pieces that they ride on. So yeah, so I'm waiting for a few things, and then I'm going to drop it off to the machine shop. I'm going to SeaTech here in Grand Rapids, just because that's where most people have done. I had a head worked on there, so that's what I'm going to do also. So yeah, everything's tore apart now, just to see how much the damage is gonna cost to get everything checked out, cleaned up. Yeah, there's not too much to it. Not a long video, but I just wanted to do something. Progress is still being made. I'm not just sitting back. The engine bay is all done, and I started doing some wiring a little bit, but I was mostly just sorting things out, figuring out the wiring harness, the lighting wiring harness. That one I will probably do around the drivers or the left rear side, and then I'll run the power with that one also. And I think I'm going to do the ECU or the management harness on the passenger side, just because I plan on putting it over on that side. So it'll be shorter. I'll have to lengthen and change some things, just because based on the harness, how it was versus how I want it to be. So there'll be some minor tweaks and changes there, but nothing too crazy. But anywho, thanks for watching. Sorry this isn't super long. I tried to cut it up so it was short and to the point. So yeah, anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully keep the progress going. All right.